That elevator. It must be the access to Bowen's office. Evangeline has to be there. I'm sure of it.
As he rode the elevator up, Harry regretted not bringing a weapon. What if Bowen was still up there?
All right. Let's see what you're hiding here, you scoundrel. Well, looks like they give this medal to just about anyone. Spitsbergen. That's the place in Norway Evangeline mentioned. Consciousness exchange? Is he talking about mind swapping? So the cult was on the expedition along with Peasley. How long have they been behind all this? Apparently, that John Teague was Fornax, another cult member. I knew Bowen would never abandon his Nazi pals. That doesn't sound good at all. And what's this Azathoth business? Say, isn't that Senator McCarthy?
Indeed. Caleb's friend Joe was none other than Senator Joseph McCarthy, who led the infamous witch hunts against alleged communists.
Dr. West? This creature seems vaguely familiar.
Evangeline had to be on the other side of that door, no doubt about it. But Harry stopped before entering. Was there anything left for him to find in Caleb Bowen's office?
There may be something important here. I can come back later.
Evangeline had to be on the other side of that door, no doubt about it. But Harry stopped before entering. Was there anything left for him to find in Caleb Bowen's office?
Please be all right, Evangeline. Let's go, Miss Drayton. We have to get out of here.
Look, it's the engineer. I've seen one of those creatures before. In my dreams. In the Stone City, in the jungle. He spoke to me in my dreams, Professor. I have
Forget about it, Miss Drayton. We'd have to call the police and...
Calling the police won't do any good, Professor. We have to go to Spitsbergen. I need to talk with him, with the...
Miss Drayton, don't you realize this doesn't make any sense? We can't chase Bowen and his...
No, you don't understand. Bowen isn't in Spitsbergen. He's on his way to the city, on his way to Nakotis.
Harry couldn't believe what he had just heard. Evangeline had mentioned a place he had known in dreams, long ago. So long ago, he had nearly forgotten it.
I had a strange dream today. I was inside a vast library and gazed at vistas of another world.
All these questions came crashing down on Harry. And suddenly, he wasn't so convinced anymore. Before boarding the plane to Norway, Evie and Harry talked about the trip. About where they'd be stopping over. About what they'd do once they got to Spitsbergen. They talked about bringing plenty of warm clothing and gear and supplies to make it through. They talked about getting their documents and passports in order.
They even talked about the strange city they had both dreamt of.
But Evie knew there was something they hadn't talked about. A question she didn't know how to ask the professor, because every time she'd tried, the right words never came out. But a long flight leaves plenty of time to think.
Professor?
Yes?
When I was being held by that man, Bowen, he showed me a picture of you. A picture of you and my father in the Pacific. Did you know my father, Professor?
And then, it was Harry who didn't know how to find the right words. Because even though he'd been waiting years for that question, he still didn't know how to answer it. Evie took Harry's silence as a yes.
How come you never told me you knew my father?
You never asked.
What do you mean, I never asked? What kind of an answer is that?
Evie was furious. That petty, childish excuse didn't suit the professor at all.
Look, I wanted to.
You wanted what? Just talk, for God's sake.
All right. I'll explain everything.
Good. We've got plenty of time to spare before we land.
My wife, Nora, was diagnosed with an incurable disease. The same hereditary illness of unknown origin that had struck her mother before her. The doctors had no answer. So I decided to find it myself. I never imagined the answer would take me so far away. To a remote island in the Pacific. Back then, I didn't have the financial independence I have now. So I had to raise money and put a team together. Do you remember the night before your father left for work in San Francisco? You were probably 5 or 6 years old?
Oh, God. Yes, I remember. I remember a beautiful, dark-haired woman, a nervous, scrawny guy, and a man who seemed really happy about something.
I'll never forget those words. You're a whiz, mister. Would you be interested, by any chance, in an exciting job opportunity in the Pacific? That's right. Frank agreed to come with us to the island. It pained him to leave you and your mother back in Mississippi, but he needed the money and I was paying very well. But that island wasn't what we expected. There was something there that... Let's just say there are forces in this world that mankind ought not to meddle with, Miss Drayton. Things like the black ooze, and on that island, it was everywhere. I told you, it's the most dangerous substance I've ever come across. We found that out when one of the expedition members came into contact with it. It was him, driven mad, who attacked your father. Just a shallow cut with an ancient dagger, but enough to infect him with that black liquid. That is what took Frank's life. I did what I could to look after him, but that infection, it was beyond anything I could handle. His final words still haunt me. Harry, please look after my wife and my little girl. And that's what I've been trying to do all these years. Though evidently not as well as I might have done.
Evie was speechless. She could not believe it.
Take care of me? What are you talking about? I just met you a week ago. I've never had anyone except my mother. And the only help we ever got was from the insurance checks. What kind of help are you—
There was no insurance, Evangeline.
What?
Harry decided that since he'd started telling the truth, he wouldn't stop halfway.
I am the Hydrangea Foundation. Hydrangeas were just Nora's favorite flowers, that's all.
And then Evie understood. She understood the strange and painful sacrifice that man had made.
I wasn't the one who drove that dagger into your father, but I dragged him to that island and didn't listen when he told me we had to leave.
Harry had spent a long time avoiding the truth of what had happened nearly 30 years before, on that island in the Pacific. But for the first time in ages, he was forced to face it.
So yes, your father died because of me. I can't tell you how sorry I am. I won't be so foolish as to ask for your forgiveness. I know I have no right to it. I understand how you must feel now. I understand that you hate me.
You could have told me.
I know. But I'm a coward. All I've ever done is avoid responsibility.
Could be. But you've also risked your own life to save mine.
I owed you that.
And you've paid for my schooling? That's not what a miserable man does.
I only did it because I had the money. And because I felt guilty.
Look, Professor. You insist on painting yourself as a horrible person. But I don't think that's true. I think you're just a sad and lonely man who's shouldering more guilt than anyone should have to.
Harry was puzzled. He hadn't expected this. In a strange way, Evie's forgiveness made him feel uncomfortable. Didn't he deserve punishment for what he'd done? Evie's decision had made him doubt. Perhaps it was time to move on.
I don't know. Maybe. Maybe you're right.
I'm sure I am. Believe me.
And after that, Evie and Harry remained silent for the rest of the flight. Despite having talked about it, Evangeline and Harry were not prepared for the freezing cold they would face on that remote Norwegian island. Although weather would be the least of their problems in that place.
God, this is unbearable. Professor, are you sure you're all right? You should have brought a couple more layers.
Don't worry, Miss Drayton. I'll be fine.
Harry hadn't always been like that. He used to like heat. But 3 months stranded on a Pacific island had changed his preferences.
What we saw in Bowen's office? The Black Pharaoh, Azathoth, and all that? What do you think it means?
Just the ramblings of a madman, I'm sure of it. I'm actually more worried about the other things. Spitzbergen, the statue, your memory loss, and your dreams about that creature. Too much of a coincidence, isn't it? This sign, it's written in Norwegian. I guess we're close.
Do you really believe it's possible to switch minds?
Honestly, Miss Drayton, I have no clue what we're dealing with. But whatever it is, we'd better stop Bowen as soon as possible.
Here it is, the radio station.
The storm is getting stronger.
We'd better stay close to each other, Professor.
This must be the generator room, but it's locked.
I can see some banners on the building. They look like... oh.
Nazis. I hate these guys.
Just as I thought. No power in here.
We should look for the key to that generator room. It must be around here somewhere. I'll have to take a look at it later. Right now, I need to get the power running in this station. Not yet. I've got to get the generator running before I can get any work done. All of these rusty gadgets are useless. Interesting. Very interesting. But it won't help me bring the power back. No, the door won't budge. This might come in handy, but not right now. I need to get the power on in here first. I'll have to take a look at it later. Right now, I need to get the power running in this station. Interesting. Evangeline, I see a...
Harry hesitated to say the words because of how absurd they might sound.
spaceship of some sort?
A spaceship? You mean like a flying saucer?
Not yet. Interesting. It's no use. This switch is completely wrecked. A book titled The Unspeakable Cult doesn't sound like a very pleasant read. The entry post is completely wrecked. What happened here? This looks like the station's garage. I wonder why they left it. It's not working. This storage room's a complete mess.
Like everything else in the station, it seems.
It's not working. This must be the generator room, but it's locked. Oh, the door won't budge. This must be the key to the generator room. Hey, what the...
The current must have caused a power surge in that distribution panel up there. Let me take a look. Maybe I can fix it. Okay.
Weren't you going up there to fix it?
Oh, yes. You're right. Darn it. This fuse box is sealed. You don't happen to have a screwdriver on you, do you?
No, sorry, I left it...
Perfect. This'll do. An old fuse box. And it looks like it still works. Even after years under this weather.
What's the problem?
Well, the whole base runs on an interlock circuit.
What does that mean? I know nothing of technical stuff and you know it.
It means that for the power to reach the antenna, you'll have to manually turn on each switch in order.
You mean I have to look for switches all over the base?
That's right. I'll route the power from this fuse box and then you turn it on.
Fine. Stay put. I'll get back to you.
Up to you now, Professor.
Good. I managed to turn this thing on. Evangeline, try another switch.
Okay.
Please, by all means.
You're in charge now.
It's up to you now, Evangeline.
Your turn, Professor.
Your turn, Evangeline.
Up to you now, Professor.
The mess hall. Or what's left of it. Good. I managed to turn this thing on. Evangeline, try another switch.
Okay. You're in charge now.
Good. I managed to turn this thing on. Evangeline, try another switch.
Okay.
Please, by all means.
Your turn, Professor.
This machinery hasn't been used for years. It's junk. Did it!
We're good. Power's on. I'm heading back to the antenna, Professor.
Okay, Evangeline. Huh. Wasn't expecting to see one of these here.
What are you talking about?
It's an Enigma machine. A message encryption device the Nazis used to encode top-secret messages.
But how could you possibly know that?
I worked in intelligence during World War II. Obviously, I was too old to be sent to the front lines. And I can't see a thing without my glasses. But the OSS thought someone like me could be useful cracking codes. So they sent me to Fort Meade, Maryland, to the Signal Security Agency building. Hendricks requested a transfer to Europe last week. He's a man of action, no doubt about it. Russell's desk is always a mess. He's probably on a cigarette break. Hendricks requested a transfer to Europe last week. He's a man of action, no doubt about it. The set of components that makes Enigma's encryption possible. I always keep this photograph close. Enigma decoding instructions. This is the message that needs to be deciphered. I really doubt this is how Nora pictures my work here at Fort Meade, but she does love to tease me. I don't rightly know what we'd have done without Turing and his people over at Bletchley Park. We worked hand in hand with the Brits. They'd already managed to crack Enigma, so we hoped their work could help us break JN-25, the Japanese naval encryption system.